Hello and welcome here. My name is Delilah if you are new, and I am welcoming you into my kitchen this week as I cook dinner. For a while now we've been in a slower season and I've enjoyed more time in my kitchen, but things are picking up now and it's starting to get a little bit busier. When life gets busy, I simplify things, and the first thing that I simplify is my time in the kitchen. I can spend a lot of time here and it's wonderful and I love it, but practically speaking, there are seasons that just can't do that. So when I was making my meal plan this week, I was making sure I was planning meals that were pretty quick, pretty simple, very easy, sticking to foods that I know my children are going to eat and enjoy. And I know you guys are always looking for quick and easy and yummy meal inspiration. So I'm gonna take you with this week as I cook my dinners. And as I go through my week, I'm also gonna give you some of my best tips and advice for simplifying meals and making cooking a much simpler, much easier task. On the menu for tonight is like a cheesy lasagna pasta bake with a side of kale Caesar salad. I could spend all day making this if I chose to make everything from scratch. And I am capable of making all these things from scratch, but my first piece of advice is to remind yourself that not everything needs to be made from scratch all the time. There are some things for me that I do not make exceptions on. Things like breads, buns, wraps, pizza dough, pitas, stuff like that. Just because I don't like the ingredients that are found in our local breads, buns, and baked goods. But there are certain ingredients that I can find with very clean ingredients at a pretty decent price. Some of those things include pasta and tomato sauce. This is what we're going to use today to make our meal really quick and easy. I don't have a recipe for this. It's really a pretty basic recipe. I'll see if I can maybe write something out in the description box for you, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. Alright, now that our main dish is ready to go into the oven, I'm getting started on our side dish, which is kale Caesar salad today. I have 2 packs of bacon in the oven right now that I'm going to use for this salad and other meals throughout the week. It's starting to smell really, really good in here. Before this salad, I need to make our dressing. I use the recipe from my Half-Baked Harvest cookbook. I've been using this one for a very long time. It is my go-to. I make it pretty much every single week. If you follow me on Patreon, you will have seen this recipe so many times. If you don't know, I share weekly meal plan posts on Patreon. I like to give my Patreon members a little bit of a glimpse into what our meals look like each week and give them a little bit of extra inspiration. If you're not following me on Patreon, I will leave everything linked below so that you can do so. It's only $5 a month. You get ad-free YouTube videos, you get early access to YouTube videos, you get exclusive discounts, exclusive videos, weekly meal plans, all sorts of stuff. But I like this because it's really easy to make. It's just putting all of the ingredients into a blender and it is done. This is pretty much the last step before supper is ready. that time of day again. It is almost supper time and I am preparing to make a very, very simple dinner tonight. Tonight we are having breakfast for supper. We haven't done this for a little while, but it is one of my go-tos when things are busy. And that is because breakfast is very familiar to me. I've made many breakfasts in my life. I've cooked many eggs in my life. It's just really quick and easy to do. Which brings me to my second piece of advice. Stick to what you know. On busy weeks when you've got a lot going on, that is not the time for recipe experimenting. Busy weeks are the weeks where you stick to things that you're familiar with, things that you know by heart, things you could do with your eyes closed. Not only is it going to save time in the kitchen, but it's going to save you some brain power. It doesn't take a lot of effort to make something that you already know how to make. In fact, I find that trying new recipes often takes a lot more effort just because I have to read the recipe multiple times. I have to go through things in my head and try and make sure that I'm doing it in the right order, at the right time, in the right way. Whereas making breakfast for supper, that is probably one of the easiest things I could do. So we are having like a breakfast hash brown egg bowl of sorts. Basically it's going to be fried potatoes, caramelized onions, and mushrooms. Then we're going to top it with an egg. These are really yummy, really filling, and very quick to make. Remember that bacon that we cooked up yesterday? Well, I'm going to use it today. I'm going to use it again tomorrow. Today I'm going to warm it up, chop it up, and add it as toppings to our breakfast bowls. I would love to make this with poached eggs and hollandaise sauce on top, but those are two things I'm not very familiar with. I'm not going to bother with that today. I'm going to stick to what I know. We're going to have ketchup on top, and I'm going to do sunny side up eggs.
Ooh, that sounds so good, Mom. Mom, to try that.
I just got back from running a bunch of errands, so I've been out of the house all day and it's already time to get supper started. Zach actually threw in a chicken in the slow cooker for me, so that's been cooking for the afternoon. It's just a very basic chicken, salt, pepper, parsley, and some lemon on top. There's just a little bit of water in the bottom to help keep things moist and cooking well. This is one of my favorite ways to cook chicken because it's really easy and the chicken stays moist and delicious. I only have to work on 2 side dishes today. We're doing cheesy potatoes and kale Caesar salad again. Which brings me to my next favorite trick, and that is to make one big salad or side dish that we can have for multiple meals throughout the week. We'll have it at lunches, we'll have it at dinners. There are a few different side dishes that I rotate through. One of our favorites is kale Caesar salad. I prep all of the ingredients the first day. Oh, I'm chopping this wrong. My mind just automatically went to dicing potatoes. That's not what we're doing today. Try that again. When we do kale Caesar salad, I'll prep all of the ingredients the first day so that when I make it the next days throughout the week, it's just a matter of throwing all the ingredients together. So I've got my kale washed and ready to be chopped. I have croutons ready to go. It makes making dinners throughout the week a whole lot easier. So we're doing chicken, we're doing kale Caesar salad, and then this cheesy potato recipe is one that I made once a little while ago and my family loved it. And I have been making it nonstop ever since. It's really easy, it's really good. Every time I make it, I make more, and every time I make it, it gets completely devoured. This has become a family favorite. I'll leave the recipe link down below. It has been such a gloomy, sad day outside. It's cold, it's been on again, off again, snowing all day, which kind of works perfectly because on the menu today is soup, and one of our family's favorite soup. We are doing chicken lemon orzo soup tonight. Yesterday after supper, I put all of the bones and skin and discarded stuff from our chicken into my slow cooker. I threw in some onion skins and carrot skins that I had saved in my freezer, and then I filled it up with water, turned it on. It was slow cooking all night. So this morning I drained it, and now I have some chicken stock. So now I'm going to use my homemade chicken broth and leftover chicken from last night's supper to make chicken lemon orzo soup. I also have some bread going. I'm just about to pop these into the oven. These are not sourdough. I've been gone too much this week to actually make anything sourdough. So this is a really good yeast bread. I use fresh milled flours in here. So I'm gonna get these in the oven while I start making my soup. One of my favorite tricks that I use all the time is cooking roasts or whole chickens or just large pieces of meat, and then we'll reach for that meat throughout the week. So sometimes I'll do a pork roast, and then we'll do pulled pork. We'll have it on pizzas, we could do tacos. The same goes for beef roast and the same goes for whole chickens, and we do whole chickens all the time. In fact, a lot of our favorite recipes includes shredded chicken. We do a whole chicken almost every single week. It's a great way to make large amounts of food and feed a large amount of people. It saves me a bit of time and it saves me a bit of money. When I meal plan, I usually do 5 meals a week because the other 2 meals of the week are usually meals that we'll eat somewhere else, like we're invited out to someone's house or I'll have leftovers, or I'll just do something really quick and simple. The last meal for this week is extra simple. We are doing hot dogs with a side of cucumbers, which is my very last point that I wanted to make in today's video. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You can keep things really simple. We're literally having sliced cucumbers as our side today. I did make homemade hot dog buns yesterday while I was making bread, but since I did that yesterday, I didn't have to do anything today. All I had to do was slice cucumbers. That concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some useful advice. If you have any good advice for simplifying meals, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your advice too. Anyway, we are all going to sit down and have some hot dogs and some cucumbers, and I'll see you in the next one.